Good morning, everybody. So today we are going to finish up this instructor case. It's a lot of graphs. It's not really that exciting of a case, but anyways, we're going to finish this up. And what I'd like to do then with the remainder of time is finally take you guys down to the lab and kind of just get acclimated. And then Monday, we'll have class in the lab, okay? And we'll use it kind of as a lab day as well. You have all Module 4 stuff due. It looked like one student has every Module 4 stuff done, but that's it. So we'd use that as a, yeah, it wasn't these two. Anyways, we'll use that as kind of a lab day. So we were working on, if you guys remember, we were working on circuit.xlsx workbook, and we were kind of building a summary of some graphs. And we did a couple pie charts at this point, you guys recall? Yes? So if we're in the book, it's on page 253, and I think we're through part 5. And the last chart we did was listings by bathrooms. So let's go to step 6, and that's the housing tables. And it says, using the data in range D4 through E8, so that would be the sales price by region. It wants us to create a column chart showing the average home price in the 4 Tempe regions, and then move the chart to the summary worksheet in the range G4 to L15. So we're going to do so. So insert, column, and I'm going to choose a column chart. I'm going to use, I'm not sure why my colors are green. Doesn't matter, I guess, what color you use. I'm going to use a black background. I kind of like those. So average price. And it wants us to move this to the summary worksheet again. It wants us to change the title to average price by region. One of the things I like when you create a column chart is we probably should have better labels in this. So go to quick layout. Let's go to the, I don't like any of them. Let's just add a Y axis title. So I'm going to go to plus here, axis titles, and that added both of those for me. And let's change this one to US dollars, and let's change this one to region. Once this anchored to G4 L15, so I'm going to move it. It's going to be too big here. I'm going to hold down the Alt tab, drag that corner to G4, and I'm going to drag this one to L15. You know what else I want to put on there? Click the plus and turn on data labels. That'll put the data labels on top. So it looks like that. All right. It actually wants us to do the same thing with 7 and 8 are very similar. It wants us to do the same thing with home age and price by home. So, that data is over here. So step 7 says take D10 to E15 and insert a column chart. Move it over to the summary worksheet once again. And what I'm going to do is I want that to look similar to this, so how would I do that? Instead of changing all those things I changed, like turning on titles and turning on data labels and changing the colors, what do you recommend I do? Yeah, so if I take this graph and I say copy, okay, if I paste, it's going to paste that graph again, but I want to come to this graph and I'm going to do paste special, and I'll say paste the formats. And this is average price by home age. So I think that's all I really have to change. By home, oops, average price by home age. And it's going to want this anchored very nicely, I guess, to match the one beside it. And the last column chart at once, very similar, is average price by size. So that's in the housing table in D17 through E24. Insert a column chart. I'm going to move that chart once again over to the summary worksheet. I'm going to copy the format of the previous to this one. And this is average price by size. And I'm guessing it wants it to be anchored here. So we're using the Alt key. So if we look at what we've built at this point, we've kind of built a dashboard. Kira? Yes, we should. So this is, should be home age in years, I would say. Years. And I'm guessing we have to do the same thing here. Yes, this is home size. In square feet. Okay, let's go. You guys good at this point? Let's go to the housing tables, and this time it wants us to, not the housing tables, it wants us to go to the listings worksheet. So we have all the data here. And it wants us to create a histogram of the home prices. So that's column H. So I'm going to highlight H4. Looks like we have a lot of data here down to H185. Insert. And do you remember histogram was under statistical charts? So in the chart group, it's this one. We're going to select this histogram. I'm going to change the color to the orange that I like. I'm going to change it to dark. It wants us to change the chart title Home Prices. That's easily done. Let's do Home Prices. Prices. Oops, I shouldn't have hit that in. It wants us to change the vertical axis to have a maximum of 50. It goes from 0 to 60 right now. So let's right click on it. Go to Format Axis. The maximum is 60. We want to change that to 50. And hit Enter. And it will do so. It wants us to set the number of bins. These are bins 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8, it looks like. So I'm going to go click on Format Axis here. And the number of bins, it wants us to change to 6. It wants us to change the overflow bin to 350,000. And the underflow bin to 150,000. So what those overflow bins do is it just makes a class instead of a range. It just says anything greater than 350,000, anything less than 150,000. It wants this to move this chart once again to the summary worksheet. Put it way down bottom for some reason for me. And it wants us to put it it doesn't want us to move it, but I'm going to move it here anyways. So just put it under the last one. And we'll anchor it. We'll just make it the same size. You guys able to create the histogram then? Plumman, you have the history?
He doesn't have the object, so you have to
You still have 2013? Yeah, you go to the laptop help desk, you know, they'll do it, but yeah, it's all right. Yeah, you can't create it without it.
You can, but you have your own data now.
Yeah, but it's not going to be the same thing, yeah. That's kind of like the old tool. Now, step 10 in your book, I'm going to skip over because it's creating 4 other histograms for every region. And it's, we know how to create a histogram at this point. If you do it, fine, but you don't have to do it, right? So I'm exempting you from step 10 and 11 because 11 is just changing the ones in 10. So we're going to skip 10 and 11 because it's just creating more histograms. It's kind of more busy work. So I'm going to skip ahead to step 12. And it says in the price history worksheet, so let's go to the price history worksheet, use the data range in A4 to C152 to create a combination chart. Okay, so we have a category, we have 2 values. So I'm going to go up to Insert, and I'm going to click the See All Charts. I'm going to click on All Charts. I'm going to go down to Combo, and this is where we can determine where things are at. And it says display the average price as a line chart. So right now it's a clustered column, so let's make that a line. and display the forecast values as a column chart. Let's make that a column. And once that, the clustered columns on the secondary axis. Click OK. Wants us to call that average home price and foreclosure rates. Ooh, I like that. I don't like the decimal places over here. Let's right click on that, go to Format Axis. What can I do? I think I can change that. Under Labels, maybe it's under Number. Yeah, it's under Number, under Format Axis, it says decimal place is 3. I'm going to change that to 0. And it wants us to move that to the summary. Why is it putting it so low? I don't know why it's putting it low now. And I'm just going to anchor it below there. Okay, and that's all I'm going to do with this one. So just a bunch of graphs, and what we've created here is kind of, a dashboard. This can give, if we look at the housing tables, we got a lot of information there. The listings tables, a lot of information. The price history, kind of a lot of information, and it's harder for us to consume data that way. But if we look at, this dashboard we created, and actually there's supposed to be 4 other graphs on it for the histogram by region, which I didn't do. We can get a lot of information at once. So you save that, you can upload that. If you have any questions on it, I'll take those questions. But any questions on that? Okay, so then we're going to move. We have 30 minutes at this point. I don't know if you guys want to move your stuff or if you want to leave in the classroom. You want to leave it here? Take it, it doesn't matter. We're going to go downstairs to the lab and